Long ago, in the ancient state of Qi, the sun rose over a kingdom of great beauty but growing worry. Duke Jing sat upon his throne, his brow furrowed with concern. Beside him stood his most trusted advisor, Yanzi. Though Yanzi was small in stature, his mind was sharper than any blade in the land. Together, they looked out over the palace courtyard, where the sounds of shouting and the clashing of steel echoed through the air. The source of the duke's worry was three mighty warriors. Two of them, Gongsun Jie and Tian Kaijiang, were heroes who had defended Qi from many enemies, but their bravery had turned into dangerous pride. They no longer obeyed the duke's laws and treated the other ministers with such rudeness that the stability of the kingdom was at risk. Gongsun Ji was known for his immense strength, while Tian Kaijiang was famous for his ferocity in battle. The third warrior was Ji Yu Yezi, a man who claimed to have fought monsters in the deepest rivers. Yanzi watched from the shadows as Ji Yu Yezi swaggered through the palace gardens, ignoring the salutations of the guards. Yanzi knew that if these three stayed together, their arrogance would eventually lead to a rebellion. "A sword can kill an enemy," Yanzi whispered to himself, "but only wit can disarm a hero's pride." Yanzi approached Duke Jing with a clever plan. "My lord," Yanzi said, "we cannot arrest these men, for they are too strong and the people love them. But we can let their own vanity be their undoing. We shall hold a banquet and present a gift of the highest honor, peaches from your personal garden. But there is a catch. There are only 2 peaches for the 3 of them." The day of the feast arrived. The warriors sat at the front, expecting praise. Yanzi stepped forward, carrying a beautiful lacquer tray. Upon it sat 2 large golden peaches, smelling of summer and sweetness. Yanzi stopped before Gongsun Ji. "These peaches are the Duke's most prized possession," Yanzi announced. "Since there are only 2, they shall be given to the 2 among you who have performed the greatest service to Qi." Gongsun Ji was the first to speak. He stood up, his voice booming like thunder. "I once wrestled a wild tiger to the ground to save the Duke's hunting party," he cried. "Surely no merit is greater than mine." Before anyone could object, he reached out and snatched the first peach from the tray, holding it up like a trophy. Tian Kaijiang watched him, his eyes narrowing with a flash of jealousy and anger. Tian Kaijiang could not let himself be outdone. "That is nothing," he shouted, standing so quickly his chair toppled over. "I led the vanguard against a whole army and was wounded 10 times to secure our borders. My blood has watered the soil of Qi." He reached for the second peach, claiming it as his right. Beside him, Ji Yu Yezi sat in stunned silence, his face turning a deep shade of red as he realized the tray was now empty. Ji Yu Yezi stood up, his sword rattling in its sheath. "You speak of tigers and armies?" he hissed at Yanzi. "I once dived into the Yellow Rapids to slay a giant turtle that threatened the Duke's boat. I fought underwater for miles. Is my life worth less than a peach?" Yanzi bowed low and spoke softly. "Your deed is indeed the greatest, Ji Yu Yezi. It is a tragedy that the peaches are already gone." Hearing this, Gongsun Jie and Tian Kaijiang felt a sudden, heavy weight in their hearts. They looked at the peaches in their hands and then at their friend, Ji Yu Yezi. They realized that by rushing to claim the prize, they had shown themselves to be greedy and less honorable than the man they called a brother. "Our greed has shamed us," Gongsun Ji whispered. Overcome by shame, they dropped the peaches. In the code of the warrior, to lose honor was worse than death. Ji Yu Yezi looked at his fallen friends and realized his own pride had fueled the fire. In his grief and shame, he too followed their path. The room grew quiet as the warriors departed this life. Yanzi and Duke Jing stood alone in the hall. "The threat is gone," the Duke said quietly. Yanzi nodded, his expression somber. "Pride is a powerful weapon, my lord. It can win a battle, but if left unchecked, it will always turn its blade upon the one who wields it.